Greetings and welcome. In this series, we explore one of the most sensitive and vital subjects within the teachings of Master Mohammad Taheri, the founder of Irfan Halge Inter-Universalism. This program is based on the book Non-Organic Beings, published by the Inter-Universal Academy and Press in Toronto. Given the depth and significance of this work in understanding the mental bodies, we have prepared this study in two parts. We now present part 1 for you. Join us on this journey of consciousness. The complete text of Non-Organic Beings, Part 1. Introduction. Human beings have always known of the existence of other beings who are not made of matter, and they have thought about them. In every corner of the world, and in every culture, people have talked about them in one way or another. Throughout history, these beings have been known by various names such as demon, devil, jinn, peri, ghost, soul, spirit, etc. By the advent of the era of Scientism, most of these beliefs and ideas were regarded as superstitions. Consequently, for several centuries, man has been deprived of the possibility of a serious and scientific study of this group of beings. Ignoring a reality does not mean that the reality does not exist. Furthermore, regardless of our opinion and knowledge about it, the reality continues to take its own course. Therefore, the avoidance and denial of scientism did not make these beings go away. Instead, they were more or less active and had their impact on human life. Inter-universalist point of view. One of the basic principles of inter-universalism, Irfan Halge, is to respect all human beliefs. In this view, any idea which has been accepted by a large number of people or throughout different centuries and in different parts of the world must have a core of reality, otherwise it would have been forgotten or never accepted in the first place. Therefore, instead of dismissing these beliefs as superstitions, we should try to understand the reality behind them. Our goal is to have a systematic and scientific approach to these beings and their influence on human life. Definitions. To understand these beings, we must first define what we mean by non-organic. These beings do not have a biological body made of cells, and therefore they do not follow the biological laws that govern our physical existence. They do not have a physical body, they do not age like we do, and they do not follow the laws of thermodynamics in the same way matter does. To detect or understand them, we need a different set of tools and a different perspective, which we call inter-universal insight. The history of mentions in historical texts. We find many references to these beings. For example, in the ancient cultures of the East, there are detailed descriptions of beings that can change their shape or possess human beings. In the West, particularly in the Middle Ages, the fear of demons and spirits was a dominant part of social life. Even in modern times, with all our technological advancement, many people report encounters that cannot be explained by our current scientific laws. Categories of beings. In general, we can divide the beings of the universe into two major categories. Organic beings. These are beings made of matter, cells, and follow biological laws. Humans, animals, and plants are in this category. Non-organic beings. These beings do not have a physical body and are not made of matter as we know it. They are made of energy and consciousness. We further divide non-organic beings into two main groups for our study. Group A, beings that have never had a physical experience in this world. In many cultures, they are referred to as jinn. Group B, these are the souls of deceased humans who have remained in the intermediate world for various reasons and have not yet passed to the higher levels. Group A, jinn. These beings are made of energy and consciousness. They do not have a biological body, but they have a form of energy body. They have their own evolution and their own laws of existence. They can interact with the human energy field and, under certain conditions, can influence the human mind and physical health. Chapter 1. Types of non-organic beings. 1. Non-organic beings. Type A. Human beings have always known of the existence of other beings who are not made of matter, and they have thought about them. Throughout history, these beings have been known by various names such as demon, devil, jinn, peri, ghost, etc. By the advent of the era of Scientism, most of these beliefs and ideas were regarded as superstitions. Consequently, for several centuries, man has been deprived of the possibility of a serious and scientific study of this group of beings. Ignoring a reality does not mean that the reality does not exist. Furthermore, regardless of our opinion and knowledge about it, the reality continues to take its own course. Therefore, the avoidance and denial of scientism did not make these beings go away. Instead, they were more or less active and had their impact on human life. Differences and similarities of type A and the devil. In general, non-organic beings are those that do not have a physical body and are not made of matter. In this book, we will study these beings under the title of non-organic beings, which we divide into two major categories, Type A and Type B. Type A refers to beings that have never had a physical experience in this world. They have their own evolution and their own characteristics. Many people confuse Type A beings with the devil, Iblis. However, it is essential to distinguish between them. The devil is a specific being with a specific role in the divine plan, which is to tempt and test human beings. Type A non-organic beings, on the other hand, are a vast group of beings with various roles and functions in the universe. Some of them may be involved in testing humans, but they are not the devil himself. General characteristics of Type A non-organic beings. They are not made of matter. They are non-organic. They possess consciousness and intelligence. They have a form of energy body, but no biological cells. They do not have a gender in the human sense, although they may manifest as male or female. They have a much longer lifespan than humans, but they are not immortal. They can move through space and time in ways that organic beings cannot. They can influence human thoughts, emotions, and physical health under certain conditions. Categories of Type A non-organic beings based on their role. We categorize them based on their impact on the human system. 1. Universe keepers. These beings are responsible for maintaining the laws and order of the universe. They do not usually interfere with individual human lives unless there is a breach in the cosmic laws. 2. Trial keepers. Their role is to create challenges and trials for human beings. Thank you very much, Yuan. These trials are necessary for human spiritual growth and evolution. Without these challenges, the human soul would remain stagnant. 3. Direction keepers. They influence the direction of human movement, sometimes leading individuals towards certain experiences that are necessary for their destiny. 4. Wisdom keepers. They are involved in the transmission of certain types of knowledge or inspiration, though this inspiration can be either constructive or destructive depending on the individual's state of consciousness. 5. Retribution keepers. These beings are responsible for executing the consequences of human actions. In the cosmic law, every action has a reaction. And some of these non-organic beings are the agents that deliver the repayment or the result of a person's behavior back to them. 6. Spell keepers. These are beings that are utilized or commanded through spells, charms, and occult practices. They are bound by certain vibrations or words and can be used to influence others, although this is a dangerous path that leads to spiritual decline for the practitioner. 7. Captivation keepers. Their role is to keep individuals in a state of mental or spiritual captivation or obsession. They can cloud a person's judgment and keep them focused on lower-level desires or false ideas. We have reached the end of the first part of our study on the book, Non-Organic Beings. We hope this insight has resonated with you and opened a new window into your life. If so, please consider sharing this knowledge as a rare gift with your loved ones, children, and friends. We sincerely look forward to your comments and questions, especially regarding how one can find a path to liberation from the influence of these non-organic beings in our current lives. You can find the answers and the continuation of these topics in part 2. Additionally, for more information and to purchase the required books, please visit the official Taheri Academy website. By subscribing to this channel, you join us on the path of spreading peace and awareness. See you in part 2. Goodbye.